got a law degree, a master's, and 2 bachelors. Probably more education than all of y'all added up together at this table,
Fine
right?
by me.
Opinions vary.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Opinions Varied. It's Opinions with an A. Please like, share, and subscribe. And we have a Abby Phillips roundtable, once again, off the rails. And this one is tough to get through, but I'll take one for the team. I'll get through it, and I'll comment along the way. And you can also decide for yourself if this is not the most outrageous bunch of nonsense you've ever heard. I'm not going to say anything else. Let's get into it. Here we go.
Issue in this country right now is we live in different realities.
That's right.
I live in a reality where I know I do not have the same opportunity as you. I know I don't.
She doesn't have the same opportunity as Scott Jennings. She's sitting at the same table as Scott Jennings.
And you know
And
that
I know
too.
what, Scott?
I got it.
And you
Look,
know that.
Let me
Actually,
just tell you about me.
I'm gonna let you finish, but I want to answer this.
I'm not talking about how you feel. I'm talking about how I feel.
Remember how she feels, okay? Not reality. She's talking about the different realities, and then she goes right into how she feels.
Me, a black woman in this country.
But not in this city.
And I will run. And if you want
Look,
me
I'm a
to,
New Yorker, not in
I
this
will
city.
run
You
the
cannot say that.
facts.
You
I
can't
will
say that
run.
in this city. I have a.
I'm not talking about New York. I'm talking about Ashley
let her
Renee
finish.
Allison
Okay,
right
let her
here.
finish. Let her
I
finish.
got a law degree, a master's, and 2 bachelors. Probably.
A law degree, a master's, and 2 bachelors? Is that what she said? Wow, I have a bachelor's. I don't have a law degree. I don't have a master's, certainly. I probably couldn't afford to do that. I wouldn't be able to afford to go to get those degrees, even if I wanted to. My children certainly can't afford to go to law school right now. So I'm not sure what opportunity this woman hasn't been afforded. It's not making sense so far, is it? More degrees than a thermometer, though.
More education than all of y'all added up together at this table, right?
Congratulations.
And I have always been the least paid
Another overeducated, useless person. Awesome. We are never going to run out of those, apparently.
person on payroll at every institution I have worked in. And it's not
Even
because...
in the White House?
Even in the White House.
Well, who's...
Oh, my God. First of all, the attitude. Has Jasmine Crockett now made it fashionable for this attitude to come out on people? Guy's asking a question, and the attitude's got to come out. The condescending attitude's got to come out. She worked in the Obama White House, and apparently Barack Obama paid her less than everybody else. Either you're a bad negotiator or Barack Obama isn't paying you because of all these things you're complaining about now. Take that up with Barack Obama.
fault is that? I don't think he worked for George W. or Trump.
Well, guess what happened when I was there? DEI.
Oh, so there was no DEI when she was in the Obama White House, and that was the problem. What the hell are you talking about?
Daddy, chill. Scott.
Look.
I'm head Scott.
Look,
You're my friend. I respect you tremendously. I think you're probably the smartest operative in the Democratic.
Oh, Scott, you know what? I kind of get why you have to do this, but really, I'd be like, you're my friend, and because you're my friend, stop talking. That's what I would say. Because you're my friend, I need you to stop talking, and I'm going to do yourself a favor and stop talking. That should be what Scott Jennings is going to tell her right now, but he's not.
Party, and they should listen to you more. That's number one. Number two, you and I share a comparable background. We're both from the Midwest. We both come from middle-class families, lower middle-class families maybe. I actually think we share a lot of similarities in our journey. But I think you made it, and you are the most respected voice often at every room or every table you're in, not because of anything other than your talent and your work ethic. And that's all anybody ever is asking for, is for people with talent and work ethic to make it. And that's what I see in you. That's how I see you.
But let me tell you something about...
But, right. No matter how much Scott Jennings is going to pander to her and try to make her feel good and coddle her, it's not enough. It's never going to be enough. That's why you don't do it.
About my story and my family's story is that we have faced discrimination. I have faced discrimination. I just said I was the least paid person, even in this moment sometimes.
Then you're a bad negotiator. Then you need to blame CNN. CNN is not paying you. You think CNN isn't paying you fairly. Take it up with CNN. That's your right. And say, either you pay me this or I walk or I go somewhere else to work. You have every right to do that. But this is incredible. I can't even believe what I'm hearing right now.
To my counterparts, it is just the reality of the country we live in. And I'm not saying, I do believe I'm qualified. I know I'm qualified. You won't ever tell me I'm not qualified. But the system that I live in doesn't matter about my qualification.
Anybody here watching ever get a call from CNN and ask them if they'd like to be on their panel? Anybody watching ever get a call from CNN, MSNBC, Fox News, ABC, NBC, CBS, anywhere and say, hey, would you like to be on national television to talk about politics? I haven't. I certainly haven't. I talk about it, sitting here in my office, in my home on YouTube. I would like to get that call to go on this panel and have the fun that Scott Jennings has wrecking these people all the time. But I'm not going to get that call. And the last time I looked, I don't know. You judge for yourself.
I don't agree because
in 2025.
Oh, come
I don't think
on.
we're there in
Come
2025.
on.
No, they're
You
not
and
living in
I don't-
2025. This whole panel is out of 2025.
There's-
1963 called, and they want all you to come. Everybody at this panel with this mentality, 1963 called, and they need you back there.
A mountain of evidence that suggests that you are wrong. Okay,
I
let's
tell
just
you, Abby Phillips just says more things that just off the cuff. The mountain of evidence. What mountain of evidence? Abby Phillips, you are hosting a primetime show on a major news network. Are you kidding me? What are you talking about? I have Abby Phillips, what's her name, Ashley, and Carly Champion. And then there's another woman, Alyssa Farah Griffin, who I guess likes to sit around ridiculous tables because she does that at The View too. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4 women and 2 men, 3 women, which happen to be black. And we're talking about the mountain of evidence. Reality? No, you're not living in any reality. Not 2 different realities, not any reality. La La Land.
I'm a New
let's
Yorker,
just-
so I'm jaded. I have
okay.
the Attorney General as a
I'm
black
not-
woman.
okay,
The
we
mayor's
just
a
went- we
black
just
man.
went
The
from-
head of the Senate is a
we
black
just-
woman.
Okay, New York is a small
Okay.
representation.
Well, small.
The
New York is
United
not that
States
small.
of
New York is a small representation. It's only the largest city in the country, one of the biggest cities in the world. It's a small representation, though. The whole city is run by people that she is saying don't have the same opportunity. And that's fine. That's who everybody voted for. That's the way it works. I'm not saying anything's wrong with it, but what you're just saying is just factually wrong. It's false.
politics. Let me talk about
Every judge I
numbers.
appear before
Because
is either a
Ashley
woman
just
or a
gave-
person of
Ashley
color.
just gave an anecdote, but the numbers also show black women are one of the most educated demographics in this country and one of the least paid. Why would that?
Not true. Not true. Comparably to black men, black women are more educated. Other than that, no. We're again, what Abby Phillips is saying is lacking context, lacking nuance. It's false. What else is new?
Make any sense?
Why would that make any sense? And don't talk to me about the judges you stand before. Talk to
Why?
me about the theory.
Hold on.
Talk to me
Why
about
not?
the
He's making a point. Every judge he says he's before is, I believe he's an attorney. Every judge he says he goes before is black or a woman. So he's giving you actual, maybe it's anecdotal, but it's how he feels. How's that?
we live in.
Let's look at the United States Supreme Court. How could you say we're not going to look at that from the top to the bottom? And I'm talking about the legal
New
system.
York is a more
that I live in.
progressive And we just got a black woman.
Hold up. Let me.
We just got a black woman on
Okay,
the
but you had a
board.
black man from the 70s.
Clarence Thomas, but nobody wanted him in the Democrat Party. Clarence Thomas, he wasn't the right one. See how that works?
Brought up the Supreme
The
Court.
60s.
One.
Did you know, Arthur, that there are many-
Hold on. What percentage of it does it represent the United States of America?
Why
So why does it matter?
Why
So
is
we
it
gotta go
so
by
hard?
Guys, one at a
Why
time.
is it-
No,
Why
but-
is it so
So
hard
we gotta-
to
we can only
acknowledge
have
what she just said?
can
Why
only
is it
have
so
13%
hard
Why is it just
of
one?
justice.
Why is there only one Italian American?
No, but why is
Why?
it so hard for you to acknowledge what she just said about
I-
black
I
women
did-
being the most educated
I
and
did
the most
acknowledge it. I said
underpaid?
that's
And
not
you-
my experience.
Okay,
If that
but
was
we're
the case-
because
There you go. That's not how I feel. How do you like that? We're going to bring feelings into it? That's not how I feel.
she's
have
not a
more black women on the
woman.
No, I'm a
But
New Yorker, and
but
that's
New
not
York
the
is
way
not
it is in New
representative
York.
of the rest
You're
of America.
correct.
That's
You are
also
correct.
important.
It's also the
most
diversity in the country.
Well, that's exactly.
Like,
So
why-
Wait, Los Angeles, that's a big city too. Karen Bass, she happens to be the mayor, correct? Chicago, that's a pretty big city, Chicago. Brandon Johnson, he's the mayor of Chicago, isn't he? Yeah. Let's look at all the aldermen in Chicago. I don't know what the racial makeup is, but I would assume to say that some of them are black, right? Maybe some women too. This is just a complete nonsense argument. What's going on here is Donald Trump's assault and the rightful assault on DEI is going to end this grift. And this grift is how they make money. Abby Phillips does it. Carly Champion, the one on the other side of the table, does it. Alyssa Farah Griffin does it on The View. So does this one, Ashley. She does it all the time. It's their grift. Ashley apparently gets speaking fees of $10,000 to $20,000 per event to talk about DEI and social justice. They are afraid that their money train is coming to an end. That's all this is. They know everything they're saying right now is complete nonsense. This is lashing out. It's a temper tantrum like we see Democrats have all the time.
Of course, there's more representation in women.
And Scott, I think if you really see, you said something very beautiful. This is your friend. You guys share a lot of the same values.
But it doesn't
You guys think alike. You guys are literally friends off air. You text, you have good conversations. There is the yes and in that. There is something that says to me that you know what she's saying is true. You think she's smart. You know that she's smart. She's more educated than mostly everyone at this table.
I don't care how educated you are. There are plenty of, as I said, overeducated, useless people. Overeducated, stupid people. There are plenty of people that could look at a textbook, memorize everything, score well on tests, and they are the dumbest people on the planet that you wouldn't let them try to, I don't know, you wouldn't let them come in and vacuum your floor because they're that dumb. Somehow they'd screw something up and burn your house down.
And so what she's saying isn't a lie. What she's saying is a real life experience. And so why is it so hard to understand why something like diversity, equity, inclusion needs to be a part of what we do in a system that never even acknowledged a group of people, never saw us as a human commodity, just literally never noticed who we were.
Meanwhile, again, nobody sitting at this table talking has been affected by any of that. No one. And I'm sorry, no one, probably their parents were never affected by that. Their grandparents? Absolutely. But when do we get beyond this? When do we get beyond this? When do we finally say we have at this table getting paid very, very well, the top 1% at this table as far as pay in this country, in the world? When do we get beyond what happened in the past? When? When is it allowed? Everybody could play this game if they really wanted to. I'm Italian. I could go back and find things, I'm sure. Irish people go back. When do we get past the mentality? And you have people like Candace Owens that say it all the time. We've got to get past the victim mentality. You have Thomas Sowell's been around forever. You have other people. Look, you have people to say, I am not playing into this anymore. I'm getting what I'm getting because I'm qualified, because I'm smart, because I've worked hard, because I paid my dues. That's all it's about. That was Martin Luther King Jr.'s dream. Content of character. And I've said it before. We've gotten so far away from that and just since Barack Obama. Because Barack Obama is a grifter also. I don't care if you think I'm crazy. I don't care. That's your opinion. This is mine. This is how I feel. And we have gotten so lost in this. And it's a divide and conquer tactic. It's destroying this country. And thank God Donald Trump and people with common sense are putting an end to this garbage.
And now here we are years later asking for some simple rights, some simple civilities. She's asking to be paid like you get paid. She's asking to...
Then she should negotiate better. That's what I would say. I want to get paid what Scott Jennings gets paid. He shows up. I'll bring the receipts. I show up as much on Abby Phillips Roundtable as much as Scott Jennings. I bring as much to the table as him. I make my points. He makes his. I think that I'm a reason why people want to watch. Negotiate better.
Be acknowledged like you get acknowledged. And she knows that is not the case because she is a black woman.
That's her perception, but it's not even true. She's sitting next to Scott Jennings. I see her on this show just as much as I see Scott Jennings.
Had a high-ranking position in the White House of the United States of America.
Dear friend.
She is one of the most celebrated...
Let him finish. He's making perfect sense now. He's hitting back with facts, and she's got to talk over him.
Political operatives in the country.
Do
you know how hard I had to work to get that?
Do you know how hard?
I'm sure you had to work hard to get it. You think Scott Jennings, I think he was in the Bush White House, they just said, oh, look at you. Look at you. You know what? Coming to the White House. No, I'm sure that's how. I'm sure Scott Jennings didn't have to work hard at all to get where he's gotten. No, it was just handed to him just because.
The garbage man had to work at it. So I'm just telling you.
I'm not saying that, but
talent and work ethic are everything. And that's why I think you're here.
It's not true. It's just not true. It's just not true.
The other thing is the access to opportunity is I know you don't want to think that that is true, but access to opportunity is
And
what
that's the word.
DEI is supposed to address. And not just when it comes to race, although race is important, but when it comes to women, when it comes to people with disabilities,
That's right,
when it
Brian.
comes to people from different socioeconomic brackets, from rural parts of the country.
I think that's
and
the
other-
biggest issue. There's different socioeconomic brackets
So now
more
we're
than
trying
race
to
and gender.
now we're trying to say that everything is equal just because I say it is, even though all the evidence.
Who said everything's equal?
Well, that's
Who
literally
said
we're
everything is equal?
we're already living in a meritocratic society, is what Scott and his colleagues want to say, when that's actually factually not
No, we should be living in that type of society. That's what we should be living in. Meritocracy. And the Democrats and the left hate meritocracy.
true.
Do you not
Actually,
think
it's
everything
not
is
true.
equal?
But I think it's
I don't
generally,
think everything- of
it's
course not.
generally
then
true.
what- okay,
But I think,
okay,
I think
then
it should,
let's talk-
it'll seek its own level. I don't think the government should be telling us to
Arthur,
seek
okay,
its
but
own
you
level.
literally
not about,
earlier
hold on,
just said-
DEI is not about the government. Y'all are talking to private companies
Yes,
and telling them you can't
can't do
operate
it. It's
about
the
both.
way you
I
want to
think, but
operate.
Arthur, you
It is
literally
about
just
both.
said, I don't think it will seek itself out, because you literally just said human nature. That's how we operate.
That's
so
right.
Yes,
sometimes, which is why the
but I
civil
think
rights
it's more
movement
so-
was
I
so
think it's more
important.
socioeconomic
Because- and
than it is
this is why, like, when they
racial.
talk about like canceling the Department of Education, why they talk about the federal government. The reason why the federal government was so important, particularly for Black people to seek justice in this country, is because it was the one bastion of hope that people had when states took control and they had discriminatory practice laws.
Okay, but
the
that was a long
Supreme
time
Court.
ago.
What? How long ago? Tell me how long ago was
That
that?
was a
How
long
long
time
ago was that?
We gotta go. We gotta go, but it was not that long ago.
It was long enough ago. It was long enough ago. You know how I know that, Abby Phillips? Because you're sitting at that table. And so's the other two women. The other three women. You're sitting at that table. That's how I know it was that long ago. I don't know. When does this country get past this? It's a money-making machine. That's what it is. Like I said, it's the grift. There are too many people that make too much money speaking like this. That's what the problem is. I don't know how to get past it. I don't know. To just get rid of DEI, it'll help. But somebody will come up with something else. Levers of power will change. And then it'll be brought back because, like I said, it makes too much money. It's a shame. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. I never try to say, like, I'm living the experience of somebody else. Because, no, that's impossible. Nobody knows the experience of me. I don't know yours. Everybody has their own for a bunch of different reasons. Okay? But to say that things are the way they used to be, it's not even close. It's not true. Anything that I have, I earned. I was handed nothing. Anything I've accomplished to this point in my life, to be able to sit here and talk to all of you on this platform and make this my permanent job at this point, is because of choices I made during my life and that things that I accomplished through hard work, dedication, and perseverance. Period. End of story. If I didn't do that, I wouldn't be here right now doing this. I'd be doing something else. So, before I go too far off on tangents, let me know what you guys think in the comments. Again, thank you for watching. We'll see you next time right here at Opinions Vary.
Opinions vary.